everybody, and welcome to Black Girl Nerds
Hey
Talk. This week we are talking about, what else could we be talking about? Civil War, the latest Marvel installment. I guess we don't have to talk about what it's about. If you're here, you probably already know. You've probably already seen it. And in fact, this is going to be an extremely spoilerific review. So if you have spoilers. So if you have not seen this movie, just, come back later when you've seen it. That is all. So this is what sort of kicks off the sort of, what is it called? Like the third, what's the word?
Phase.
Yes, phase. That's the word. This kicks off the third phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And this year we're getting this movie, and then we're getting Doctor Strange. And that's sort of the phase 3 happening. So let's start with sort of our initial impressions of the movie, and then we can sort of dig into details and all that stuff. So why don't you go first? What did you think of this movie?
I really enjoyed it. I don't want to say that I'm a Marvel fangirl. Like, it doesn't go that far. But I enjoy the Marvel films.
Yeah.
But this one, it was really, really good. It was definitely after Age of Ultron, I was very worried a little bit. I'm like, has Marvel lost
Thank you for saying that, because whenever I say that movie's horrible, people get mad at me. But I thought that movie was not good, so thank you for saying that.
It was definitely a mess.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I didn't dislike it. I know, I know that it's not a good movie. It's the structure is just very similar to Batman v Superman, just stuffing all the stuff in too much. No, but this one it was such a great story. I felt like the additions were really good. The special characters that they added were great. I have been on this movie since I heard that Black Panther was going to be in it. Like, that's what I went for.
Yeah.
And he did not disappoint, like, at all. But one of my favorite parts of the movie was him being in it. So I really enjoyed it. The twist at the end, I really wasn't expecting it. And I was like, oh no. I think this movie it was very satisfying to me. It was very satisfying, and I liked it. I had a good time. I saw it twice. So yeah. What about you? What did you think?
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was really, I'm a fight choreography nerd, little known fact. I really like sort of fighting. Sorry, that was my dog shaking. I really like sort of fighting and sort of, and all the fight choreography was really, really great. Like, it's like the best action we've seen in a Marvel movie yet, which I feel like that's been sort of like the weak points of the Marvel movies, except for, ironically, Captain America. A lot of the action has been kind of weak across the films, just in general. So I thought that it was like the best action movie of the bunch. I really liked the movie. I thought it was really, really enjoyable. I especially liked the last quarter of the movie the best. I felt like it really started to pick up steam when we started introducing Ant-Man and Spider-Man and like all these characters. Like, that's when I was just like, oh my god, this is like really, really great. Like, I thought the movie was good as a whole, but I just thought that it just started to really pick up. And of course, Black Panther was amazing. Like, I was really worried about this role because I knew he was going to be doing the accent and all that stuff, but it was perfect.
Let me tell you, I was so worried about that. And it's funny because the movie, it basically starts off in Nigeria, which that's where my parents are from. So I was very worried. I was like, oh my gosh, how is this accent going to be? Like, there's been a lot of really bad accents. And I also was very skeptical about Black Panther because there's been two people cast in Marvel films who have African ancestry. So I always was like, well, why didn't you cast them as Black Panther? They're actually African, but I like Chadwick Boseman, so I wasn't mad, and I wasn't mad at the accent either. It was not horrible. It wasn't horrible. So
beautiful. I think you turned off. Oh, there you are. Yeah, no, he was just like beautiful and wonderful, and just like everything. Like the costume was amazing. He looked great in it, but even just him acting, and then like you didn't even notice that he was new. Like he worked himself seamlessly into the crew. Like it just felt like so smooth. Like I thought it was gonna be kind of awkward because all the people have sort of been in the movies together for a while and stuff, but he just sort of just slid in there and was like, I'm here, and it just felt very natural.
I like that they didn't do like a big, huge setup for his character.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's here. He's here. He's ready to go. He's Black Panther. He's
Yeah.
about to whoop on Bucky
Yeah.
Bump.
I know, I was like, poor Bucky.
No, I didn't feel bad for him.
Yeah.
No. You needed. He was just. I mean, I know I did feel bad for. See, okay. One thing I love about this film is just I felt very. I thought I would be one side or another. I think I really thought I'd be really teams Captain America when it came to who was right and who was wrong.
Yeah.
But this film really brought out the nuances of what each side was thinking.
Yeah.
And then when it gets to, big spoiler alert, you find out that the Winter Soldier had a part in Howard Stark and
His mother.
sorry,
I don't remember
his
his
mother's
name.
name. But basically killing Tony Stark's parents.
Yeah.
And that's like huge. And I mean, my favorite scene in the movie were actually some of the more emotional scenes. Just seeing Tony's face when he finds out that Captain America, he knew what Bucky had done. He didn't know Bucky had done it, but
Yeah.
he knew what happened to his parents.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah. That was really good.
Yeah,
I
it
thought
was really
that,
good.
I think that was like one sort of criticism I'd have of the movie is that I felt like they should have taken that arc further. Because like one of the problems I had with the end is that you don't feel like the team is in danger at all, right? Like you feel like in the end that because I don't know if you've read the Civil War comics, but in the Civil War comics, it's like some really deep, big shit happens where it feels like they're never going to see eye to eye. And it seems kind of impossible. But the way that they set it up to where he's not actually mad at Captain America, he's mad at Bucky. And so the problem with that is that it makes it seem that like, okay, all Iron Man has to do is sort of just like swallow his pride, call him back up, and the team's back together. So I kind of wish that there was more of and even at the end he was like smiling and like looking at, you know what I mean? Like it seemed like, oh, we're just, we're friends. So I wish they would have like taken the chance of really kind of had that dramatic tension where they're really like
broken up. Like,
yeah, we're not
repairable.
sure. Like, I just feel like the sever should have been a little harder in order for everything to feel earned. Because then at the end, you're just sort of like, well, even with the fight, like, the fight was amazing and I loved it. But at the end, it was just like, these were just like friends just slapping each other around. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like, I feel like because of the way the fight was set up and stuff, it didn't have the dramatic impact that I would have liked for it to have. Maybe I'm thinking it, maybe I want it to be, that's like a very DC thing to do, and it's a Marvel movie, but I just wish that they would have, and I think it's because I'm familiar with the DC, the Civil War comics, I wish they would have sort of like taken it a little further. Even though I loved everything that was happening, I just felt like, well, obviously they're going to get together, and if that's the case, what have we been doing this last 2 hours? So, yeah.
I'm sorry, my roommates are talking. But yeah, so I would agree with that. I do think they did leave it very open ended. Like, oh yeah, hey, when you feel better, call me. I do agree with that. I agree. I would have liked it to be like, no, this is very.
Like, we're done.
You're done. For me, I mean, if you killed my parents, that's not something I'm going to get over very quickly.
Right.
So I agree. I would have liked it to just be kind of like no, this is the next phase. We're kind of separate. But I'm wondering if maybe that's something we may see more of in a future movie.
Yeah, maybe.
Because there's still movies to set up.
Yeah, there's so many movies. Oh my god.
Yeah, there's still movies to set up, and There's a Black Panther film.
Black Panther
There's
film.
so exciting. There's a Spider-Man film, which we haven't talked
Oh,
about.
oh
Spider-Man.
my gosh.
Spider-Man was
So
so
good.
good. Like, okay, I saw this movie twice, and I didn't see this with like a huge crowd of people. I really would have liked to see it with the fans, but I saw it with people who were pretty like timid,
Right.
and I was just like, how is no one clapping?
Is
Like,
nobody
this
else
is
panicking?
awesome. Like, I just like this. It's so good.
Yeah.
And I mean, I Spider-Man is great. And there's a lot of things that I really like. I like that he's younger. I like
Yes.
that they
Looks
didn't do an
younger.
origin story. I like
Yeah.
that they didn't explain anything. I'm like, we know who this is.
Yes.
Just get in there and fight. And it was
Yeah.
great. It was really, really great. So
Tom Holland is
I'm
wonderful. He's very good.
so charming. So
When
charming,
he
so
was
precious.
cast, I know that there's like other people on the list that I would have preferred, I thought. But he just, even his body, like the way he looks, the way he stands, everything is very like comic book Spider-Man. Yeah, and he looks like a kid. Like Andrew Garfield seemed like a sort of, I just like that he's like younger teenager that's like really smart, because like we don't have that, and that's sort of the ultimate, that's what the reason why Spider-Man, so one of the things that people I don't think realize because of the Marvel movies, the way they set it up, is that like Iron Man, Thor, all these superheroes are not even like that popular in comparison to Spider-Man. Like Spider-Man is like the most popular thing, just
He
like
is
everywhere. He is he represents
like,
Marvel.
He's
yeah.
like Batman,
exactly.
Superman.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. Like, I think a lot of people think that because Iron Man, it's just that I think Robert Downey Jr. really defined that role, but Iron Man is like not even, like he's never been that popular, but Spider-Man is the most popular, which is why he gets rebooted so many times, because there's kids, like my cousins love Spider-Man. Like they watch the cartoons and everything like that. So I think they finally got it right. I think this is going to be the one that really, obviously the Tobey Maguire one stuck fine, but that's like a whole nother era. Like there wasn't even any.
And I think there's room for different iterations of things.
Yeah.
These are comic book movies, and just like comic books, there's different universes, there's different versions, there's different stories. So I'm one who's okay with different versions and popping in. I'm okay with it. But I'm very excited about this.
Hopefully Miles will come in. I would love Miles.
Miles and all of them. Just
all of them.
Dump it in.
Just dump it in.
I will say that if there are any criticisms that I have of the movie on my end, it would be the portrayal of the people of color in the film.
Yeah.
I still feel that Marvel's people of color characters, their Black characters, are relegated to second string B-list characters, basically the sidekick for the main, supporting white male protagonist.
Yeah. The fun buddy.
Yeah, the fun buddy, Rhodey sidekick, Falcon sidekick, even more so than the Winter Soldier. Because I feel like when you look at how Cap and Bucky relate to each other, that feels like a partnership. That feels
that's
like
a really great point.
It feels like a bond, probably because they've known each other longer or they have more history. But I mean, I feel like at this point,
Falcon has been his ride or die.
Right, like he is willing to go to bat for you time and time again, but he still feels like that funny comic relief,
like side
and that
character.
is very disappointing to me. I will say that T'Challa made up for a good, it did help a lot. One of my favorite lines was when Cliff comes and he's Clint, Clint comes and he's like, oh, we haven't met, and he's like, I don't care, and I'm like, yes, we don't care.
Yeah.
Work on that.
Yeah.
Wakanda, yes. I just was so excited every time he was on screen. I brought a friend to the second screening with me, and she is not a superhero fan at all. But every time Chadwick as T'Challa was on screen, she was like, who was that?
I know.
When he was like beaten up, and she was like, oh, ooh, yes.
I know. It's just so nice to see, you know, like, and then just like, and it's a good example of what we talk about when we talk about diversity in film. It's just like, just because you throw black bodies at a thing, you know what I mean? Just because you have them standing around doesn't mean that they're having an active role. And this is the difference. Like, you see him, he's present, he has agency, which is something that Brody and the Falcon both do not have. They haven't had it in any of the films. They don't have an arc. They don't have any motivation. They don't have any opinions about anything. They're just sort of like conduits for the feelings of whoever their person is. You know, it's
Right.
like,
I feel like Rhodey has a little bit more, a slightly more agency than Falcon does, because he had a moment where he's talking and saying why he believed in the Sokovia Accords.
right, Sokovia Accords, yeah.
Yeah, but Falcon just
hanging out, saying
basically there to kiss Captain America's butt.
I know.
You know, I don't really know his purpose, but yeah. So that's like something that disappointed me. But I will say, hands down, my favorite scene in this movie is when T'Challa's bodyguard is walking.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing! I love that.
Walking in those heels, and she comes up to Natasha and she was like, "Move."
Yeah.
Moved. I was like, yes, honey, let her know.
Let her know. I know. A couple of us were like, in the theater, because I was in a packed theater. Like, it was Friday afternoon, and it was just like every seat. And we were like, whoa! We were like, yeah. So hopefully she'll have a role. Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready for Black
I know
Panther.
it's time. Ready. It's time, and it's awesome that it's happening, and he's great. Like, I didn't think he was gonna be that good. Like, Chadwick Boseman just has and he's been a couple other characters, right? So he's been Jackie Robinson. He's been James Brown. Like, he's really good at just sort of like embodying existing characters. Like, he's like, he has, I think it has something to do with his looks. Like, obviously he's beautiful and tall, and it's like the black and everything. I just won't go there, but he's like beautiful.
You can go there.
But he like has just like a presence in a face where he just like melds into a character, and you just forget that it's Chadwick Boseman. Like, I feel like that's like, you know, what Michael B. Jordan doesn't have, because like no matter what role he's in, he's still sort of Michael B. Jordan, because he just has like a very distinct sort of look and presence or whatever. And I find that I love Michael B. Jordan, but I feel like Chadwick just melds directly into his roles in a way that makes him so perfect for a character like this, because he just sort of like takes on the persona, which is I guess why he keeps getting these jobs playing other people, because he's so good at like blending in. So I just think he's great, and he just looks amazing, and the suit looks great, so I'm excited.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I think, you know, there's different types of actors. There's some actors you really go for that actor, and then, which I feel like Michael B. Jordan is that type. You're
like, I want Michael B. Jordan in my movie.
And then there's the person who you need someone to bring a character to life, and Chadwick, he's that.
That's the guy.
So
looking good, everybody.
Loved it. I really enjoyed it.
I really loved it. I just thought it was really exciting and really fun. I'm still trying to decide whether or not I like it better or worse than Winter Soldier. Or like, you know, are they the same? I feel like, hot take, controversial take. I feel like, the Civil War is a better kind of story arc. I feel like, Civil War, just like, it was great, but I just felt like the story wasn't as strong. Like I said, from the points I said, just from like the dramatic points, I felt like so much of what makes this movie, it's definitely a more fun movie, but I'm just thinking from like an actual structural, like story perspective. I feel like Winter Soldier was a little better, but this one was definitely more fun and more exciting because of all the characters and stuff like that. That's sort of just what I thought. I thought it was amazing. I can't wait to see it again, but I just felt like some of the little story things, I had problems with like some of the little story decisions. I felt like there were some parts where it like slowed down, and I felt like the pacing got kind of weird. I was like, we're like moving really fast, and then we're like slowing down, and then we're like moving. So like I felt like that's why like the back fourth of this movie I felt was perfect, like the whole back fourth of the movie. But I felt like getting there, it sort of took us some time to get there.
It reminds me of Avengers in that way because Avengers is
Yeah.
very similar to where the first part of that movie, if you remember, is very
I know you just
slow
forward wind
to
it.
me
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, me
Just,
too.
I mean, there kind of is this. There's this action-packed maybe first part, and then the
Like
rest of it is
chugs
just like
along,
building
yeah.
up,
Like we're
and
gonna fight,
then
we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight. I
the
felt like there
end
was a little bit
is
of that here, yeah.
yeah,
I felt like
yeah. So
once Bucky escaped, or you know, like where he said the words, and everybody was sort of like on the like getting towards the same page. I was like, okay, now we're going. Like the
yeah.
fight between when like everybody was sort of like filed in to beat up Winter Soldier, and they're all getting their ass kicked. I love that part. And it was nice to see it's Agent 13, right? Like the blonde girl who got to kiss Captain America. That's what we know her as here. She got to fight, and I thought that Black Widow's fighting scenes were really good in this one. She was just like a spider monkey. She was just like,
Yeah,
oh,
she's getting her own movie from
oh,
what
is
I'm
she really?
hearing. I heard that. I don't know if it's true. I probably
Okay.
shouldn't say what I don't know.
I
But
was like,
heard
I
she's getting
doubt
her own
it.
movie.
I don't believe Marvel will do that, but I hope so.
I wasn't a fan of the discount Agent Carter.
Oh, you don't like Agent Carter?
No,
Yeah.
I love Agent Carter.
Oh.
The little niece girl. I
Oh
couldn't
yeah,
have
Agent
done without
13.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, Agent 13.
Is it Agent
Yeah.
13? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, she's kind of, I mean,
She
like,
just seemed very generic to me.
yeah.
I
Well,
felt
I mean,
like Peggy, her character is interesting. There's
yeah.
something about her,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, well,
that's my
she's.
opinion.
Well, I mean, me and
me.
I was just like talking to a friend about it, and it's just like so typical. Like we were talking about like so like who would Captain America really date? He would date somebody sort of basic like that, probably, right? Like because Captain America is very like wholesome. Like he's like essentially kind of like a.
But the thing is that I just feel like Peggy wasn't basic. So
That's
why
true.
would you go for her basic
That's
needs?
That's a good point.
I mean, they're trying to make me believe that she's.
That's
No,
right. Agent
just-
Carter wasn't basic.
She was not basic. And
Good
if you
point.
watch the TV show, she's not basic.
No,
so-
she's great.
And her outfits are really cute on that show. So again, she's not basic. and
Yeah,
why
that's
should
true. I
care
mean,
about
like the
her
Captain America now
basic
feels
needs?
like I mean, I feel like him now. He's sort of like very. I could see them together because of that. But you're right. I completely forgot about that.
I mean, I thought the scene where they kissed was really cute, and it was funny.
Oh, like when they were
you see
watching
the
and they were like.
reactions. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, it's
Good
hard
old
because.
Marvel quips.
Yeah, it's hard because like I think it's a big thing is that those characters just don't have a lot of chemistry together. They're just sort of like thrown together, and we're like, well, they know each other, so they should date. But I don't think that Chris Evans has a lot of chemistry with the girl. Who did you ever watch Everwood? Did you ever watch that show?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, no.
Yeah,
I'm
she's
like, what is that? What is she? Well, she was in that show Everwood with the guy with the brown hair.
yeah.
And oh man, no.
And Chris Pratt was
See,
in it. Chris
that-
Pratt was in that show.
Chris Pratt was in that show.
Yeah, that was her
Yeah, that was
boyfriend.
back when it was the WB, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was her boyfriend that she
Oh
was like
no.
going.
I see.
She's also.
This is making it worse. This is making it worse. Oh gosh, they had so much drama. Oh gosh.
We should do a podcast about Everwood. Talk about a dramatic show. Didn't
very
he
dramatic.
Didn't he get like his babysitter pregnant or something? Or like, or he was like
That
dating
show
his
was, like-
babysitter.
What was the premise of that show? Their mom had died, so the dad moved them out to like some wintry town.
Some wintry forest. It's like always very cold. Everybody was wearing jackets all the time.
Yeah, they were always cold.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
This has become a video. We're just like talking. I'm just like shooting
Civil
for
War.
guys.
See, she's so basic. It's getting us off topic.
Yeah,
like, we're
she's
trying
so
to find
basic.
something she's been interested.
Yeah, like
in.
I was, because at first initially, but you turned me, because initially I was like, oh, I feel like Captain America seems like the type of guy who would like pick a basic girl, but he didn't because he was dating Agent Carter. So I changed my mind. So I don't know what that's about. I tried to defend her. I don't know now.
Don't defend her. She don't deserve it. No, she's actually fine. Like there's nothing wrong with her. She's just. I just feel
Maybe
like
she's
Peggy
just not
is just
given
so
much to
up
do.
here. Like,
She also
why
wasn't
would we
given
care
much.
about
She wasn't really given, well, but Peggy also didn't get much screen time in
not in the
Captain
films.
America. But
I'm probably basing it a lot off of the TV show, which I
yeah.
enjoy.
Okay, well, I think that's all we have. Is that all we have to say about? Did we forget? Oh, I loved Ant-Man. I thought Ant-Man was great.
I was excited.
Paul Rudd is amazing. Like, I was. Did you like
so-
the Ant-Man movie?
I did like the movie.
I like it too.
But I feel like Paul Rudd is just Paul Rudd, you know? So
But he's perfect as Ant-Man, though. Like,
if you don't like Paul Rudd, then
yeah, you're not gonna like it. But I thought he was a good dose of energy. Like, I felt like I said, his introduction and Spider-Man's introduction really sort of like got like things really, really going because they like because I think they were giving. I'm sorry, this is getting a little long, but they were trying to give Falcon a lot of one-liner jokes and stuff, and they weren't landing to me.
none of them.
Like none of them were funny.
The one joke that he gives where he's like, "Oh, pet it" or something, like the Red Wing thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is not funny.
Yeah, like none of his, and like the I felt like a lot of Tony's jokes weren't landing either, which is really weird because his stuff always lands. But so then we got some really like some jokes. Even Jeremy Renner had some jokes in too, which sort of helped. But
yeah. What did you think about, before we go, Vision and Scarlet Witch? Because we didn't talk anything about
yeah, so it's a thing in the comics, and I don't know, like it didn't really. Again, like I'm such a chemistry person as far as like romance things are concerned. Like you can't just like put two people together and convince me that they're going to date. I have to like sense that they have a chemistry together, and I could tell that those two characters didn't really. So it didn't, for me, it didn't, like I got it, but it seemed more like a father-daughter type thing than a romantic thing, which is what I think they were trying to do.
Okay.
What did you think?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm just like impartial to Paul Bettany.
Oh yeah.
Bettany? It's Bettany, right?
Paul Bettany, yeah.
Yeah.
You don't like him?
I really like him.
I love Paul Bettany. Wimbledon,
like,
anybody? Has
don't
anybody
care.
seen Wimbledon? Wimbledon's amazing.
I haven't seen that. Is it good?
It's so good. He plays a washed-up tennis player dating Kristen Dunst.
I really like him, and I like his voice, so I just...
You're like, it just all works. Him in the suit seemed
for
kind
me.
of silly, though. Him in that suit.
But that's what he's supposed to look... I feel like he looks pretty good for what that character looks like.
Yeah, I guess you're
Because I
right.
feel like that character could look even more ridiculous.
It could look like a puppet.
He makes it work.
Doesn't make it work. He's great. I think
Yeah.
I wonder what he thinks about being in these movies. I bet he's just like, what's happened to my acting career?
I don't know. I like him as Vision.
I think he's great as Vision. I love the character.
And I don't dislike Scarlet Witch. I just don't care about her yet.
I mean, she looks so much like
I know. I think that's what it
twins.
is. Like, she looks so much like
that's
her
what gets
sisters.
me. I'm just like,
Yeah.
Mary
Those are
Kate,
her
is that
sisters,
you?
right?
Yeah, those are her sisters.
So,
And every time I see her, I think about those like straight to video movies I used to buy when I was younger. Did you ever get Passport to Paris? I'm sorry, we keep getting way off topic.
I know. I was just going to mention to Grandmother's House.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I won't do it.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, that was it. If you had any, let us know what your favorite characters were on Civil War. Let us know your favorite scenes. Just let us know everything. What you loved about it, what you didn't like about it. Like I said, I love the movies. I just like I had a few quips because I'm annoying. But
I liked it.
It's such a fun watch.
Yeah, it was a very fun movie. I mean, again, I saw it twice, so I really can't say that
I have to see it
like
again. I need to find some time to see it this week.
Yeah, Marvel got all of my money this weekend.
Take my money, Marvel.
Yeah, I'm always going to criticize the representation of people of color until they do better.
That's what we need. That's what we need. This is a great example. Well, also this is such a great example of how it works when it's just because I feel like I said, people just think that if you put black bodies in a film, that means that we're being represented, and that's not the case. So. Nope.
You gotta do better.
Do better. Okay. That's it. Let us know. Oh, and we're thinking about. Also support Black Girl Nerds on Patreon. The link is below. Podcast, everything support. And also we're thinking of doing a live of this. Where we sort of do the show live and we take questions from you guys and stuff like that. That'll be, hopefully that'll be next week. we'll see how it goes, but that's what we're planning on doing. If you would like that, let us know. Tweet us and Facebook us, and of course our links are below us.
Please comment just to say hi.
Yeah, tell us.
Let us know
you're there.
Even if, like, I'm sure you have something to say. Are we doing bad? Are we doing good? Criticisms, let us know. We're trying to do better.
Let us know. But thank you, and again, thank you guys so much for watching these. We'll talk to you. I know this is a longish one, so if you made it this far,
thank you. We went on a tangent too.
Everyone, to grandmother's house we go. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, guys.